Sleepy English Academy. Title: The Path Not Taken. In the city of Stonebridge, nestled between mountains and coastlines, life moved at a comfortable yet relentless pace. Stonebridge was big enough to offer anonymity, yet small enough to leave its inhabitants familiar with each other's lives. Among them was Mira Sanchez, a 34-year-old accountant who had carved out a comfortable life in this bustling town. She was diligent, dependable, and loved by her friends and family. To everyone around her, Mira was the picture of success and stability. But what they didn't know was that Mira was standing at a crossroads. In recent months, she had started feeling the weight of her choices, the sense that her life was running in a loop. She loved numbers and the sense of order they brought, but after 12 years in her profession, she couldn't shake the feeling that she was missing out on something deeper, something more fulfilling. Her routine days at work had started to blend into each other. She spent her time poring over spreadsheets, balancing ledgers, and attending endless meetings where everyone said the same things in different ways. Mira had reached a point where she knew her job inside out, yet the spark was missing. More unsettlingly, she noticed how often she daydreamed about a different life, one where she could work with her hands, maybe in art or gardening, something that felt more alive. One autumn evening, as she walked home from work, Mira took a detour and ended up in a small art gallery tucked away on a quiet street. She had never been there before, though she had walked by it countless times. Inside, she found herself captivated by a painting of a lone figure standing at the edge of a forest, looking toward an open field bathed in golden light. The painting resonated with her. It was almost as if the figure was standing where she was, contemplating a step into the unknown. Mira sighed and thought back to her college years. At 22, she had been at another crossroads. She had considered studying art, but chose accounting instead. It was practical, her family had encouraged it, and it promised a steady income. Now, she couldn't help but wonder, what would her life look like if she had chosen differently? The next day at work, a new project landed on Myra's desk. A high-profile merger that would require months of overtime and weekend work. The promotion she had been eyeing was within reach as she took on this project. But the idea of plunging even deeper into a life she was beginning to question felt heavy. That evening, Mira met up with her best friend Lena. Over coffee, Mira confessed her doubts. "I feel like I'm trapped in a life that's not really mine, Lena. I keep asking myself what I'm doing all this for. The money's good, the benefits are fine, but is that it?" Lena listened patiently, her eyes sympathetic. "I get it. Sometimes we follow a path because it's there, not because it's what we truly want. Have you thought about taking a break? Maybe even a sabbatical?" Mira shook her head. "A break wouldn't change things. When I come back, it would be the same job, the same routine. I need something different." A week later, Mira came across a weekend art workshop led by an artist named Damien, who is known for his community murals and vibrant, expressive paintings. Mira signed up on a whim. For the first time in a long while, she felt excited. On the day of the workshop, Mira was nervous. She wasn't sure if she'd fit in, if she'd still be any good at art. But as soon as she picked up a brush, her anxieties faded. For hours she painted, feeling a joy she hadn't known in years. Damien encouraged her, showing her techniques and guiding her without controlling her work. By the end of the day, she was exhausted but exhilarated. A spark rekindled. Over the next few months, Mira kept attending workshops, connecting with other artists and filling sketchbooks in her spare time. Her world felt broader, her life richer. Yet, the decision she had been avoiding was coming closer. Her firm had offered her a promotion, the one she had been working toward for years. But now, the idea of accepting felt like a sentence. One evening, Myra's mother called, sensing her daughter's inner turmoil. "Mira, sometimes we outgrow the lives we build. It's okay to change course. Maybe it's time to follow your heart, not just your head." Mira decided to talk to her boss, Mrs. Harland, a sharp but fair woman who had mentored her. She hoped for understanding, but Mrs. Harland looked at her with surprise. "You're one of our best, Mira, and a promotion doesn't come every day. Are you sure this isn't just a phase?" The doubt crept in again, but Mira held her ground. "I appreciate everything I've learned here, but I want to explore a different path. I know it might seem impulsive, but I've thought long and hard about this." After a pause, Mrs. Harlan nodded, though disappointment lingered in her eyes. "I understand. Just know that the door is always open if you want to return." With her savings, Mira rented a small studio and spent her days painting, experimenting, failing, and trying again. The work was uncertain, the income inconsistent, and sometimes she wondered if she had made a terrible mistake. But every time doubt crept in, she reminded herself of the joy she felt when she painted. Months later, Mira was preparing for her first art exhibit. Her works explored themes of choice, courage, and self-discovery. On opening night, friends, family, and even Mrs. Harland attended. The gallery was small, the paintings modest, but to Mira, it was her world. As she stood in front of her painting of the lone figure at the forest's edge, she felt a profound sense of peace. She had taken the risk, stepped off the expected path, and found something true. And in that moment, Mira knew that, no matter where this new path led, she had found herself.
Subscribe for more videos. Your support helps me create more content. Thanks for watching.